Hi, I'm Jennifer Nicely with Pinnacle Real Estate Academy. I am your go-to for real estate and real estate education. Today, we're going to talk about the South Carolina Realtors Association's new Buyers Agency Agreement. We are talking specifically about the exclusive right to buy Buyers Agency Agreement, which is Form 130. Now, this form came out in March 2023, and there has been a major change, but there's only been one major change. This major change happened in Section 5 of the form. This is going to be on your page 2. And under Section 5, you had two options of marking your compensation. You had option A and you had option B. Only option A has changed. Option B has not changed. So option A in the old agency agreement had two options underneath it. The first option said, I'm going to get paid out of the transaction, aka seller's going to pay me. The second option said, hey buyer, you're responsible for paying me. Now, what they have done on this new contract is they have taken out the second option that says, hey buyer, you're going to pay me, just flat, you're going to pay me. They also took out the section that says, hey buyer, seller's going to pay me. They took that flat out. They kind of combined the two into one. Now, I highly recommend that you use this option. Now, it's really up to your clients and your consumers how they want to sign this and what they agree to. But when it comes to your compensation, Section A, which again, there's only one option left available, says that you are going to get paid out of the transaction if it is offered. You are doing your best efforts to get paid out of the transaction. Then it goes on to say, but if I don't get paid out of the transaction, you, buyer, you would be responsible for the fee. And there's two blanks in there, one for a flat fee, one for a percentage fee. You can fill out one or the other. Please make sure if you are filling out a percentage that you draw a dash in the flat fee. Or if you're filling out a flat fee, you want to draw a dash in the percentage. Never, ever leave a blank blank. So it says I'm going to have my best efforts to get paid out of the transaction by the seller, but buyers, if I don't, you will be responsible for this fee. It also continues to say, if I am charging a certain fee and the sellers are willing to pay us another fee, you, the buyer, are going to be responsible for the difference of what you agreed to today in this form. So if you have a seller that is not willing to pay you what you charge for your services, the buyer would have to pay the difference. Now it continues on to say, if I am charging a certain fee, let's say that fee is X, I am charging X, and the seller is willing to give me a bonus on top of that I have the right to receive that bonus, and this agreement will be adjusted at that time. The buyer also agrees that I would be getting that bonus. Now, it also talks about what happens in the situation where I have signed an agency agreement with a buyer. I show them properties. I actively am working with them. And now our buyer's agency agreement expires. There is a blank in there to fill out certain number of days after the expiration of our buyer's agency agreement. So let's say I have a 6-month agreement, January to June 30th with the buyers. I have showed them 32 homes on the market. I have actively walked them in. I have emailed them those homes. I have worked with them. June 30th comes, the expiration of our agency agreement arrives, and the very next day, or within X number of days after our expiration of agency agreement, they go hire another realtor and buy one of the homes that I showed them, that I was the procuring calls for. If that is the case, then they will owe me a commission. Now remember, it's a fill in the blank how many days. You could put 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. That's completely up to you and your business plan. But if they purchase a home within those X number of days, you filled in the blank, that you showed them while under your agency agreement, you are owed a commission. Now, how do we explain this to our buyers? A lot of agents are going, wait, we've always said sellers going to pay us. Well, here's the problem. NAR, National Association of Realtors, is being sued right now. And this lawsuit talks about how we as real estate agents have not been transparent about our real estate commission. We say to buyers, oh, buyers, don't worry about it. Seller always pays me. When reality is the buyers are ultimately paying the real estate commission. It's just wrapped into the sales price and into a 30-year mortgage or into their closing costs. So ultimately, the buyers have been paying this commission. Now, we are not going a complete 180 on this story and on this explanation to our buyers. And it's all truth. But when we talk to our buyers about this buyer's agency agreement, it says we are going to put our best efforts in getting paid out of the transaction. That's the same situation they've always been in. All it does moving forward is it protects us realtors or real estate agents if we are working with a buyer. And let's say this buyer wants to go look at a for sale by owner, which we call FSBOs. If they want to go look at a FSBO and the FSBO says, I'm not paying a buyer's agent, I, the buyer's agent, have still done my job. I have still worked for that buyer. Therefore, I have still earned a commission. The language now protects us for our future. I'll give you this story. I had a real estate agent give me a call just a few days ago telling me a situation that had happened to them. And I go, that was under the old agency agreement. Moving forward on a new agency agreement, that's less likely to happen. So the story was this buyer's agent had been working with these buyers for about a year. They were actively working with these buyers. And they had been showing them properties, actually showing them properties, not just sending them emails. They were physically showing properties, asking listing agents questions to give back to their buyers. What ends up happening is the buyers go out on a Saturday or Sunday, they find new construction, a custom build new construction, and they sign a buyer's agency agreement with the listing agent for that builder and end up writing an offer. The first buyer's agent finds out because it was just 2 days before this that they were actively working together. So the buyer's agent finds out, gives the buyer a call and says, what's going on? I heard you bought a home with another realtor. And they said, yes, we did. They were the representative of the builder, so we just went through them. The first buyer's agent calls the listing agent, who is now the second buyer's agent also, and says, okay, these are my clients. I've had a year-long agency agreement with them. I'm actively working with them. And the listing agent / new buyer's agent says, that's between you two. You need to talk to your buyers about it. I'm not responsible for this. So buyer's agent 1 calls me and goes, who do I sue? Who do I go after? What do I do in this situation? And my answer is, you're really stuck between a rock and a hard place because that listing agent did not agree to pay you out of a transaction and you don't have a contract with them. So you technically can't go after that listing agent for compensation because they never agreed to anything. And you technically can't go after your buyer because your buyer's agency agreement said you were getting paid out of the transaction. It never said, but buyers, if I don't, you're responsible for it. So in this particular real life story, she's stuck between a rock and a hard place. This is why this new agency agreement is so good. It protects everyone involved and makes sure that everything happens in a timely manner and everyone is held accountable for the services that you provide. We as real estate agents, we work for free all the way up to closing. So you've got to have it in writing to where it actually protects you the entire time you're working. I hope this helps for the new buyer's agency agreement in South Carolina. If you are in another state, keep in mind all agency agreements are different throughout the country. We will be posting about those other agency agreements in different states. So check us out on YouTube. We have over 170 videos that are free for you to watch. Hope you're having a great day.